Hello, I am JoJoke, and this is my first voiced video since the reboot of my channel that I initiated. I had this idea of making this video on my mind for a while, and ever since the fiasco that made me worry for this, I have formulated many topics and theories that will be appearing here. So, what are we talking about? We are talking about the fate of Doom Eternal. Just for some context for those who don't know, Doom Eternal is a sequel to the smash hit and quite frankly fantastic Doom reboot that was released back in 2016, simply titled Doom. Now, that doesn't really matter other than the fact that the series has been and always will be developed by id Software, who is owned and their games are published by Bethesda. Now this relation worries me because of the fiasco and failure that was Fallout 76. I would be surprised if you didn't know about that game by now, but I will grossly oversimplify the situation for you. Fallout 76 was planned as the first official online entry in the vastly popular Fallout series, which has been owned and published by Bethesda since Fallout 3. 76 was shown to be an MMO with elements from the first series, a modified VAT system that went from making it a strategic system to making a glorified official aimbot, and the absence of human NPCs or any NPCs for that matter. The last part worried everyone looking forward to the game because a lot of the world building of the Fallout series was dictated and controlled by the NPCs featured in the game. This goes all the way back to Interplay's isometric top-down Fallout games, which Bethesda's games were based on. This did not shine through the trash heap that was a post-release game, which is plagued with bugs, glitches, and shady microtransaction practices. It wasn't even limited to the game, as the Power Armor edition of the game was advertised to come with a canvas bag, but instead shipped with a crappy, glorified grocery bag made to look like the depicted bag from the marketing. Even shady refund practices have gone down, which only fuels the fire of this game's general mediocrity. How does this relate back to Doom Eternal and its fate? Not Fallout 76, but all the shady practices in or around the game, and the crappy state that it was released in. This affects the potential pre-release impression that Doom Eternal will have. This also brings up the question, what is Bethesda going to do to Doom Eternal after its seeming policy change with Fallout 76? I think it's going to affect Doom Eternal in multiple ways, such as in the Slayers Club that was started for the series' 25th anniversary, there was an incentive to sign up for the club, which was a promotional zombie Doomslayer skin that was advertised to be useful in the multiplayer, invasion, and single-player modes. This raises a few red flags. In the Doom 2016 multiplayer, which was part of a $20 to $60 release, depending on which version you bought, there was a customizable character that you could unlock parts for by completing achievements in the multiplayer. This is similar to a skin system, but in Doom 2016 it was customizable and completely free. It is probably most compared to Quake Champions, the skin system that will be seen in Doom Eternal, and Quake Champions, which doesn't even have a skin system like the zombie Doomslayer will be, but Quake Champions is free to play. It gets worrying when a constantly amazing and rewarding series implements an element that is commonly and almost always only in free-to-play titles. This almost screams shady, but it wouldn't even be as bad if it were exclusive to the multiplayer, but the invasion and single-player are with quite obviously the campaign. If you are including a quite multiplayer feature in the single-player, questions will be asked. My question is if there will be more skins like this. Inevitably there will be, so how will they work? Will they be constant between the single and multiplayer? Somewhat like a cross-progress system, or how will they be monetized? The cross-progress idea I mentioned seems to be supported by the zombie Doomslayer information on the Slayers Club website, but what about the other skins? Surely there will be more. My worries lie particularly in their acquisition, however. If If they are free and achieved solely through achievements or login bonuses during events, then that could be understood and point. And at that point, it would be a pretty neat feature to see. However, this all relates back to my worries about how Bethesda is with monetization after the Fallout 76 fiasco. Because if the skins are consistent and cross progress between the single and multiplayer modes, and are charged real money for, you are now charging money for a single-player campaign feature, which would destroy the reputation of this long-beloved series solely on that account. Obviously, this would raise every kind of red flag and siren possible. Charging for a single-player feature? Blasphemy. Put them on a goddamn cross. On a more serious note, the skins raises more questions and worries like this. The very possible prospect of them being both cross-progress between the single-player and multiplayer modes, and possibly being charged real money for, it could destroy $1 million, if not billion-dollar brand that will never be able to recover. I worry for the image of the Doom brand, and what worry it could do to the gaming industry at large. If a series solely dependent on its single-player is tarnished, then it could tell other developers that scummy practices like charging for single-player features is okay and could very well destroy single-player games at all. I love myself some single-player games, so that way I don't have to worry about the bullshit of toxic communities in video games. Doom could either save these games or kill them, or it may not even be that big of a deal. I want to hear your opinions down in the comments section below, on my Twitter, or on the Nito Discord server I mainly reside on most of the time. Likes are nice and subs are better. This has been JoJoke, and I hope you have a good one.